And what up, what up? It's been about 3, 4 months since I've done a video. The last video that I did was working at the prison series, and then the video after that was it was like kind of like kind of like a sorry for not updating, but it was footage of Legends of Hip Hop. But now I just felt it was time to get back and start a new series, called Stand Strong. And there's so much topics that I want to discuss that I don't even know where to begin. To be honest with you, I was just thinking right now, from politics to what's going on with Diddy to what's going on with Hollywood. So as you can tell, the abortion, transgender. So you can tell these are topics that are sensitive, that are maybe like, we shouldn't talk about it because it's going to create division, it's going to create hatred, controversy. So why even discuss it, right? But again, with your beliefs, there's no reason why you should back off. There's no reason why you should stand down. Therefore, stand strong. So first and foremost, politics. I've never been one to talk politics with anybody because, again, I felt when you talk about politics, when you talk about religion, it's going to create some kind of division. It's going to create, hatred. So why even have that conversation? But for me, and I'm pretty sure there's others that can agree, we're living in a time of uncertainty. So having that mindset or having that outlook, perspective, let's have this conversation. Because the stuff that's happening in the politics right now, when Trump was in office, I'll be the first one to admit I was the same way. Why in the heck is somebody who's not in politics become president of the United States? Make it make sense. So I was like that too. But coincidentally, I started my personal development journey at the same time. So I learned having an entrepreneur mindset. I learned, how to make your money work for you instead of you working for your money. So those little things that I've learned, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we don't have somebody that came up in politics, but we have a successful businessman running the country. Okay, like I can work with that. So y'all see what I'm trying to get at, right? Now, right now, all this started with my personal Facebook page. I made a video the day after the presidential debate. Now, for full disclosure, I still haven't seen the full debate, but what I did see, it felt like it was scripted. Like every time she talked, it's like she already had something to say. Like somebody already had it written down for her. Because whatever the question was or the rebuttal that she had to say with Trump, like it had nothing to do with the question. That's the way I got the impression. And then of course, right, 3-on-1. We all saw that. So, but I did like what Ben Shapiro said. That there were some things that Trump could have said or he could have did, because that's how a debate works. Well, anyways, moving forward, the election is coming up. So it's like, who do you vote for, right? We only have two choices. But again, for me, you can agree, you cannot. We all voted for this last president. Somehow this president got elected, and look how the economy is. Now, some will say that the reason why the prices are so high is because of inflation. And the reason why inflation even exists is because us as consumers, we're taking out so many loans. Therefore, everything's going up, right? Okay. But while Trump was in office, even though we were still, doing the same thing, taking out loans, the prices weren't that up. I mean, shit, we even got a stimulus check, right? Because of because of COVID and all this stuff, right? Because I still had to work while everyone else was shut down. I was still working. I was an essential employee, so I didn't think I was gonna be getting a check because I was still working, and I still got a stimulus check. Now, if you have that personal mindset, that personal development mindset, you took that check and you bought an asset, you invested that money instead of just spending it on splurging, right? Now, everything that's been going on from January 6th, COVID, to the assassination attempts, I mean, it makes you wonder, at least for me, like, what's really going on that they don't want Trump in office? Like, why not? Now, I've been hearing that Trump is an evil man because of January 6th, but I've seen interviews and it's like, how can y'all say that? Because the videos that I see, it's nothing but the opposite, And I've done my research. I've looked up Tucker Carlson, Valuetainment, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Megyn Kelly. So all these individuals with their platforms, they're speaking facts and they have the facts to show it. So it makes you wonder why would we still want to vote for Harris when the facts are there? Why not give Trump a chance, right? Now, I've seen the TV show Scandal, and this is just my conspiracy theory, if you want to call it. If you've seen the show, then it gives you a perspective on how corrupt the government is within the government. So going back to January 6th, having an open mind, why wouldn't you believe that Democrats paid some hush money to some actors and they dressed up as Trump supporters and then they want to go and act an ass? Because Trump did say, right, he put on that tweet, go peacefully and protest peacefully, and that didn't happen. Now, it happened. It's in the past. Now, moving forward, Trump is back, for as the, running, for this presidential campaign. But you really gotta think, why wouldn't you want to give him a chance, right? But again, this is where the Stand Strong comes in, because it's like, we all know the way it is now, the economy. Gas prices are up, cost of living is up. I've said it before, you can't rely on one source of income. Really, across the line, I think at any job, you would at least to be okay financially, at least making $35-40 an hour, and that's minimum. And some of us aren't even making that, right? So, yeah, you can say like, oh, we did it to ourselves, as far as like getting in debt or, not learning how to manage our money. But that's the thing. No one taught us. Not just to save, but to invest, to go buy assets, to produce cash flow income. No one taught us that stuff. No one taught us how to have good debt versus bad debt. They didn't teach us that stuff in school. So, it makes you wonder why the government doesn't want Trump in office. Because what do you get with the government? You get food stamps, you get housing. So, why wouldn't you want? Why would you still want to do that? Rely on the government, right? The moment you rely on the government, you let the government control you, right? So why do you think they don't want Trump in office? Whoever's pulling the show, at the end of the day, God has the final say so, right? God is letting everything happen, the way it's happening now. Everything. And I'm talking about everything from what's happening with Hurricane Helen. It's like, that's devastating. So again, right, if you're a non-believer, you're like, why are you letting all that stuff happen? But yet, it's because if we're not living for God, if we're living for ourselves, it's only time until, something my ex-wife would always say is, God has the power to show you who he is, right? So now, if the enemy is, I'll take Hollywood for example. If he's already exposing himself in Hollywood, the enemy still had to go to God to get the approval. God's like, okay. You can laugh at me, you can, say what you want, but at the end, it's like, at the end, God has the final say so, right? So regardless, what's your outlook with the politics right now, it's a spiritual, right? It's voting for good or voting for evil. And depending on which party you choose, there's this video that I came across. My dad sent it to us in the group chat. And this individual, he mentions, that if Jesus Christ were to come back in this day and age, with everything going on, which political party, between Republicans and Democrats, which political party would kill Jesus Christ because they didn't accept, their views, Jesus Christ's views? So it makes you wonder. It makes you think. Because, the stuff that's being allowed to happen right now, and I'm talking about the transgender, right? Like, I don't understand how it's okay for a grown man dressed up as a woman going down to an elementary school to go read to your little ones. I just don't understand that. Do that in your free time. Do that at the club, at your home. Cool. But why come down to the school? And the fact that they're letting it be okay, how does that make sense? Because again, from my view, my faith, it's like it's wrong, right? But again, I'm not one to judge. God is the one who makes that judgment. But how can we be okay with letting the government make that okay? Because we're the ones that get to vote. We're the ones that ultimately, we should be the ones to vote for what's right and for what's wrong, what's good and what's evil. So, like I said, it's one of those things that, I don't want to talk about this stuff. I don't. But at the same time, I just feel like enough is enough, right? With everything that's been happening, like, we gotta, like I've said it before, for change to happen, change needs to happen. Change without change, nothing changes, right? So, with that said, man, like, I really hope And like I said, don't take my word on it either. I mean, go do your research. I mean, like I've mentioned, Tucker Carlson, Valuetainment, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Megyn Kelly, Sean Ryan. You know, he's done some great interviews. He just did one with Donald Trump. So, you know, it's something else too that, you know, the whole thing with the border patrol. I mean, the whole border issue. You know, I'll be honest, like, it's always been an issue. It's just now they're making it seem that that Trump didn't do this or didn't do that. But really, like I said, it's been an ongoing issue. I mean, I'm from Laredo. I've seen it for myself firsthand. You know, 3 or 4 people, you know, crossing the river, you know, taking that chance. But this was back in the early 90s. So now it's gotten a lot worse. And all that Trump is saying is, you know, you want to come to your country, come the right way, do it the right way. You know, but, you know, a lot of these immigrants, they're coming, they know where to hide, and they know how to get founded by Border Patrol, get picked up. And then what's the first thing they do? They're going to go get checked in. They're going to claim asylum. And that's it. Now they're a resident here. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I still don't, I mean, agree with what's happening. But again, right, because of my views, my opinion, it's like, I mean, I gotta lean to what is right. And sometimes you're like, man, why is Trump, you know, he's the only one out of everyone else. Like, why is he? But again, I feel like God was the one that put Trump in the position. All right, so, I mean, at the end, God has the final say-so. Now, I mean, I do believe if we're not already in a World War III, I do believe come election day, regardless of how it goes, it's going to be a civil war. I'll be honest with you. Like, it's a scary situation, you know, to be in the position that we're in now. You know, but I do feel like, I mean, the government wants to control us. You know, and if that happens, I mean, there goes our freedom, so to speak, right? You know, it's like that saying, it's only gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. So if we feel like it's already worse now, come election, depending who we vote for, depending who gets elected, I mean, there you go. So it's just the first video. I got some more that I want to talk about. But yeah, hope y'all are well. Hope you're blessed. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one.